Okay. So now screen is visible. So let's search our Isopanisad. Okay, so today we are to discuss 11 or 10? 12.
12, Prabhuji. We did 11
12.
last time.
Okay. So let's discuss the sloka number 12. So let's start with Mangalacharam. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश धारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे So I hope the Ekadasi days you all have some fasting. Okay. So actually Ekadasi day we used to have some fasting and we used to increase our number of rounds. We increase our services. We tend to do more devotional services. We tend to make do more rounds in this day. So if you are chanting like 8 rounds, so you can quickly change it to 12 rounds from today. Or if you're chanting 12 rounds, you can change it to like 16 round from today. Okay, like that. If you're already chanting 16 round, do it double. Means 62, at least 32 rounds on Ekadasi days, like that. Keep please do fasting. Okay, Ekadasi fasting is must for a devotee, or a very good thing to have. Okay, physically, mentally, and spiritually, it is enlightening also. So if you're not doing any fasting till now, so please start your fasting from Ekadasi. Today, this Ekadasi is gone. So from next Ekadasi, you can start. Okay. So how many of you are like actually fasting on Ekadasi? Just for information.
I am
I'm
fasting, Prabhuji.
even I am Prabhuji.
So 7.
Oh, yeah, I am fasting.
Okay. So we have 7 devotees.
Fast.
8 devotees fasting. Okay, on Ekadasi. Very nice to hear that. Okay, 9, actually 9. So half of the class is fasting. Okay, so so 10. Yeah, very nice. It seems to be a good batch. Very nice devotees. Okay, regularly coming for the classes. Very nice question answers. Okay, so today I missed. Okay, so regularly if you're fasting, that is good. So please fast. And uh, how many of you are like doing 16 round till now? You have reached 16 round.
I'm doing
I'm,
Prabhuji.
I'm doing.
So more than half, 11 out of the 18 people, 11 are doing more than like more than 16 round. Okay, so 16 round, yeah, 16 round is the minimum round. It's not the maximum. That is the minimum for our spiritual advancement. So that is must. So whoever is not chanting, they can increase to 16 today. Okay, that will be very nice. That will be very nice for your spiritual life. Okay, so please increase your rounds to 16 today. Or if you're chanting very less, then increase to 8 something, but double it. Okay. Okay. So let's start with Ishopanishad sloka number 12. Okay. So anyone who wants to read? Uh,
May I,
Yes,
Prabhuji?
yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Andham tama pravisanti ye sambhutim upasate tato bhuya ivate tamo yasu sambhutyam rataha. Synonym: andham, ignorance; tamaha, darkness; pravisanti, enter into; ye, those who; asambhutim, demigods; upasate, worship; tataha, then that; bhuyaha, still more; iva, like that; te, those; tamaha, darkness; ye, who; you also; sambhutyam, in the absolute; rataha, engaged. Translation.
Okay. So let's okay,
Yes.
read the translation, Mataji.
Yes. Translation: those who are engaged in the worship of demigods enter into the darkest region of ignorance, and still more so do the worshippers of the impersonal absolute. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay, so one more very nice verse is there with us. Okay, so if you see the words, these words we have seen. Okay, andam tama parivashanti means those those enter in darkness. Who enter in darkness? Though ye asambhutim upashate. Asambhutim, if you see, Prabhupada is writing Asambhutim is demigod. But actual meaning of Asambhuti, Prabhupada is right here. The word Asambhuti refers to those who have no separate independent existence. Okay. So here the demigods are called Asambhuti. Okay. So two words are there. And this Asambhutim Upashate, they will enter into Andham Tama, means they will be entering into darkness or ignorance. Okay, so those who are worshipping um, demigod worshipper, or those who are non-permanent things worshippers, like many people, they will worship a human form or human person. Okay, they will worship a human form, some film star, cricketers. So that is asambhutim. That the thing which is not permanent. If you are worshipping, then where will we enter? Into the darkness. Okay. But if you see, tato bhuya ivate tamo, ya yu sambhutam, sambhutyam rata. But again, this word we have seen, those who are worst, that word was there. Okay. Those are worst who will worship the sambhutim. Means sambhuti means asambhuti means like those who have the separate existence, or not a independent existence. But sambhuti means those who are independent. Okay, those who are independent. So again, if you see the sloka, there will be confusion. Okay, the person who are worshipping non-independent existence, or the things which are having no independent existence, they will enter into the darkness. But worse are those people who are worshipping the sambhutim, or the separate eternal existence, or the separate independent existence. Okay, so there is contradiction between the words and words of the shastra and this sloka. How can a person who is worshipping the impermanent feature, like the demigod worshippers, they will enter into the dark region, but a person who is worshipping the supreme, they will enter into more, they're more worse than that. Okay, the people who are worshipping the supreme person, they are more worse, like that. Okay, so again, so that's why it is regularly told, and you have seen many slokas and many words like that in the Isopanishad, which describes that with our mental speculation we cannot understand the reading of understand the teachings of Isopanishad or any Upanishad. They will like scratch your mind. Okay, how can this happen, how can that happen? And if you are reading it under a certain guidance, then it will be like things will be clear. Okay, so imagine a Mayavadi philosopher is there and he is trying to understand it. Okay, so something different he will understand, the complete meaning he won't be able to understand. Okay, so that is the thing. So it should be we should understand it from the point of view of a devotee, or a person who is realized, who has understood the importance of supreme person. Okay, so that is thing. So you see the translation, Prabhupada very nicely writes clearly what is the meaning of Asambhutim and what is the meaning of Sambhutim. Okay. So very nicely these two words Prabhupada describes, and he directly wrote so that we don't have confusion. Okay. Prabhupada here writes, like, if you see the Sanskrit word Asambhutim refers to those who have no existence. Okay, very nicely he has written here. The first line is that only. But if you see the translation, then translation what Prabhupada is giving is Asambhutim in the demigod. Okay, non-permanent existence. Okay, and because they are material creation, many people are engaged in demigod worship. Okay, so they are material creation. That's why Prabhupada writes the demigod worshipper. And if you see the Sambhutim in the absolute, Prabhupada writes. Prabhupada is writing in the absolute truth. So those who are worshipping the absolute truth are worse. But those who are worshipping the demigods are in the darkness. Like that meaning is there. So what is the real meaning? In the translation, Prabhupada writes. Okay. So that is the thing. So we'll understand in this sloka the difference between the Brahmavadi, the difference between the Karmakandis, and the people who are worshipping the demigods, and the Brahmavadi, and we'll understand what is the point of view of our philosophy, that is Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. Okay, so that will be very nicely explained throughout the purports. So we'll understand the purports. We'll start reading the purports and we'll understand. Okay. So, yes, Mataji, who will read out the purports?
May I, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, Sandhya Mataji, please read out.
Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Sanskrit word Asambhuti refers to those who have no independent existence. Sambhuti is the absolute personality of Godhead who is absolutely independent of everything. In the Bhagavad Gita 10.2, the absolute personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna states, Name Vidyu Suragana प्रभवं न महाशयः अहम अधिरहि देवानां महर्षियां च सर्वेश. Neither the host of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences. For in every respect, I am the source of the demigods and sages. Thus, Krishna is the origin of the powers delegated in demigods, great sages, and mystics. Although they are endowed with great powers, these powers are limited, and thus it is very difficult for them to know how Krishna himself appears by his own internal potency in the form of a man.
Okay.
Shall I continue?
No, let's discuss this.
Hare Krishna.
So first, yeah, thank you, Mataji, Hare Krishna. So first paragraph, Prabhupada is writing about the demigods. Okay. So the demigods, the thing which we have the problem when we came to Krishna consciousness, or when we started reading Bhagavad Gita, when we started doing the classes, first thing which comes to our mind, or comes to anyone's mind, or which used to come to my mind, that why demigods should not be worshipped. Okay, they are, why only Krishna, why these ISKCON people are worshipping Krishna, why not demigod worship. Okay, so what is that philosophy? What is the cause that demigods are not being worshipped? That question comes. Okay, and this question also comes that when we start doing the classes, that Krishna doesn't have any form, like Lord doesn't have any form. Many times we have seen that everything is absolute. There is no form of the Lord. Okay. Okay. So these two questions comes. First thing comes that why demigods should not be worshipped. Why only Krishna, Krishna, Krishna? And second thing is, Lord has like absolute form is there. Okay, absolute form is, there is no form of the Lord. Everyone is like Lord. Everything is like, no, that thing was not there. But absolute truth doesn't have any form. Okay, means Nirakar, Nirgun, Nirakar, these type of forms is there. Okay, like that. So these two questions are the basic questions which comes to our mind. Okay, and if you see this sloka deals with these two only. Okay, first thing is those who are worshipping the demigods. That part is being discussed. So Prabhupada very nicely describes why demigods are dependent on Krishna. Okay, why they are Ashambhuti, because they don't have any eternal independent existence and they're dependent on Krishna. How? So Prabhupada writes that. So that is the one thing that is being discussed, that demigod part. Second part, those who are worshipping the permanent, okay, impersonal absolute. Prabhupada writes like impersonal absolute. Okay, absolute only it is written here. But if you see the translation, there is no word called like impersonal absolute. But Prabhupada writes in like impersonal absolute because it is actually describing that only. Okay, like that when we were reading the Gyan and Agyan, okay, Vidya and Avidya. Okay, so it was written that Vidya is far more worse. Okay, but that Vidya which what it was referring, the Vidya which is actually Avidya only. Okay, so that thing is there in the verses of Isopanisad. Once you understand through a parampara, through a guru, through a realized soul, then only the meanings are clear. Okay, so Prabhupada very nicely writes that demigods are the asambhuti, and sambhuti which is mentioned here, it is nothing but impersonal absolute. Okay, so these two things is being discussed in this sloka: absolute truth, that is impersonal form, and then the demigod form. So which one is better? What do you think? So the one more hidden meaning is written here. So what do you think? Which one is better? The demigod worshippers are better, or the impersonal form worshippers are better? So you must have read about Karma Kand, then then Gyan Kand, then Dharma, then the Dhyan Kand. Okay. So Karma Yoga, then Gyan Yoga, then Dhyan Yoga, then the Bhakti Yoga. So 4 yogas we have seen, and the demigod worshippers, they come under the Karma Kanda. Okay. Karma Kanda. So which one is better? What do you think? The demigod worshippers are better, or the person who worship the impersonal absolute truth? That is better.
Impersonal absolute.
Demigod
So,
would.
so there is confusion now. Which one is who is saying what? Okay. So let me check through hand raise. Who is saying that the demigod, the impersonal one is better? The person who is worshipping the impersonal form are better. Who you gonna hand raise? So I'll lower all the hands so that you can lower. Now you can tell. Okay, all the hand. Chalo. How many are saying that impersonal form worshipping is better than demigod worshipping? So 2 only. Okay. And how many are saying that worshipping of demigod is better? Only 3. Others? So only 3 and 2. There is confusion. I thought many people will be like voting against this or that. So there is confusion. 3 and 2. Which one to believe? Only 3 are there. Which one? Yes.
Prabhuji, neither bad, Prabhuji, because having knowledge and worshipping is better. But in one sense, they say that after worshipping demigods for a long time, at last we will attain the Supreme Lord only. So there is a confusion, which is right.
Okay. So Prabhupada describes this also in very great detail. What is the meaning of impersonal absolute truth and what is the meaning of demigods? Okay, that which is not discussed till now in the Bhagavad Gita, and Bhagavad Gita only we have read in level 1 and level 2. So level 3, Prabhupada is writing more in more depth. Okay, so you'll understand. So Prabhupada first described that word asambhuti refers to those who have no independent existence. Sambhuti is the absolute personality of Godhead who is absolutely independent of everything. Okay, Sambhuti Asambhuti, you have understood. Then in Bhagavad Gita, Supreme Personality of Godhead writes, Name Viduh Suragan. Viduh means to know. Okay, Name Viduh Suragan. Who? me. So na means negative. Okay, na me vidu suragana. Sura means asura, and opposite of asura is sura. The devatas. Okay, na me vidu suragana. The devatas, they do not know about Krishna. Prabhavam na maharshaya. Even Maharshigan or the great Rishi Munis, they also do not know Prabhavam, the origin of Krishna. Okay, origin or the source of Krishna. So neither the great demigods nor the Maharshis, they know about Krishna. Why they do not know? Because Aham Adir Hidevanam Maharshinam cha sarvasa. Aham Adir. Adir means Udar, Uday. I am the source of Devata and Maharshi. Aham Adir hi Devanam Maharshinam cha sarvasa. So I am the source of Devatas as well as Maharshi. That's why they do not know about my existence. They do not know about my source. Okay. So it is clearly written in the sloka that Krishna is the source of the demigod. Krishna is the source of all the great learned Rishi Munis. All the great learned Rishi Munis which we know, they also do not know about Krishna. Okay. So there is difference between the demigods and Krishna. Okay, so when we start reading Bhagavad Gita, then we understand that devatas are not equal to Krishna. They have certain level of classification is there. Okay, devatas are not Krishna, and they are also not spiritual. Also, they are in the material world. They are material. Okay, any person who in the spiritual loka, who is in the spiritual planets, they are having a spiritual body. But a person who is in material world, who is in having 14 planetary system, they are also material because they are in the material loka only. Okay, so like that, if you see that we can also go to the higher loka when we do certain good activity, when we accumulate certain good activity, then also we can go to devata lokas. Okay, so actually we are in the material world only, but what we do is certain good activity we do and we go to higher planets. Okay, so that is the thing. So actually devta loka, they are also full of the material people only, or the material the people who are having certain good karma. Okay, so like that. So in this sloka, Krishna says that even the Maharshi and the Rishi Munis and the Devata, they are also coming from Krishna only. Krishna is the origin of all those. Okay, so that's why there is difference is there. Okay, so that is one thing. If you see the Shastra, there are many places it will be told. Okay, that Krishna has separate independence. What is that separate independence? And Devatas, they are dependent on Krishna. And if you see the Bhagavad Gita, many times it will be written, many places it will be written that Krishna has separate existence and Devatas, they depend on Krishna. Okay. So if you see here, the delegate to demigods, great sages and the mystics, although they have endowed with great power, those powers are limited, and thus it is very difficult for them to know how Krishna himself appear by his own eternal potency in the form of a man. Okay. So next one we'll see.
Lakshmi Mataji, Hare
Lakshmi
Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Many philosophers and great rishis or mystics try to distinguish the absolute from the relative by their tiny brain power. This can only help them reach the negative conception of the absolute without realizing any positive trace of the absolute. Definition of the absolute by negation is not complete. Such negative definitions lead one to create a concept of one's own. Thus, one imagines that the absolute must be formless and without qualities. Such negative qualities are simply the reversals of relative material qualities and are therefore also relative. By conceiving of the absolute in this way, one can at the utmost reach the impersonal effulgence of God known as Brahman, but one cannot make further progress to Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Madhavi. So before progressing any further, let's understand one concept. Okay. So before that, can you tell me what is the difference between the impersonal and the Mayavadi? We have seen many times the Prabhupada will be writing Mayavadi, okay, and many times Prabhupada will be writing impersonalist. Okay, so what is the difference, or is the same word impersonalist and Mayavadi? the impersonal philosophers or Mayavadi? Both are same or different? Yeah, same or different? So let me check by hand raise. How many people saying they are same? Impersonalist and Mayavadi both are same. They can raise the hand. So we have 3 hand raised. Impersonalist and Mayavadi are same. Now who are saying that both are different? Okay. Anyone wants to add something? What is the difference quickly in 30 seconds? What is the difference between impersonation and Mayavadi? Anyone can add?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. Kalpana Mataji, you can tell.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhuji, Mayavadi people are those who don't believe God only, but impersonalist is they are like they believe God, but they think that God doesn't have a form. Hope I'm correct. Sorry.
Okay. So let me describe quickly, because that is the most important thing to be discussed today. Okay, so that's why we are going to discuss this. Okay, so actually there are, first thing is Brahmavadi is there. Okay, Brahmavadi. What is the meaning of Brahmavadi? Brahmavadi means those who are um, like they understand the Supreme Lord as Brahman. Okay, Brahman means the impersonal. Okay, so that those are called impersonalist, or the Brahmavadi. So impersonalists are of two types. One is called Brahmavadi, one is called Mayavadi. Both are impersonalist. Okay, one impersonalist is of two types. One is called Brahmavadi, one is called Mayavadi. Okay, so Brahmavadi is the person who thinks that Lord doesn't have any form. That is called Brahmavadi. Okay, but Mayavadi, they think that they are also like Brahmavadi, but actually they are not Brahmavadi. Okay, what is the difference? The difference is they think that Lord's form is Maya. Okay, so Brahmavadi thinks that Lord doesn't have any form, Lord is formless, but Mayavadi is one step ahead. Mayavadi says that Lord's form is Maya. So if Lord's form is Maya, then everything is Maya. Yes. So everything is Maya. So whatever things is Maya, whatever thing is in Maya, everything is Lord only. If you can understand the concept, Mayavadi thinks that Lord's form is Maya, and everything here in the material that we see is Maya. Okay. So the Mayavadis think that everything is God. Me is God, you is God, this is God, that is God, and that is called the Mayavadi. So if you understand this philosophy, if you see that there are two differences there. One is impersonal, there are two types. One is impersonal, the Brahmavadi, and one is called Mayavadi. So Brahmavadi, they are completely different philosophy. They think that Lord has no form, but still they believe in the Lord. But Mayavadi, they think that Lord's form is Maya, and when they come to this conclusion that Lord's form is Maya, they don't believe in Supreme Lord then. Okay, what they believe? They believe on themselves, because they think that they himself are Lord. Everything is God. Everyone is God. Okay, so that is called the Mayavadi. So two different things is there. Brahmavadi is still a person who is a theist, who understands the Lord, who doesn't have a form. But Mayavadi is an atheist. Atheist. They do not give the proper place to Krishna, and they don't understand the hierarchy that where Krishna is. Actually, they are at very low level than even than the Karmavadi. Okay, so impersonalists are of two types: Brahmavadi and Mayavadi. Brahmavadi, Lord has do not have form. Mayavadi, Lord's form is Maya. Okay, so that is one concept. Next concept. If you see the atheist, they are also of two types. Okay, atheists are of also like two types. First is those who do not believe in Supreme Lord. So many atheists, you will go to the marketplace, you will find many atheists. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in God. Okay. So that thing will be there. Atheist will be there. Okay. So those who do not accept the teachings of Veda, or those who do not have belief in the Veda, they are called atheist. They don't have the belief in the philosophy or the thesis or the Vedas. Okay. So those are called atheist. So there one is direct atheist is there, who will tell that I am atheist. I do not believe in Lord. And the second type of atheist is also there, who is more dangerous. What is that type of atheist? The Mayavadis are more dangerous type of atheists, because they will think that only I am also God only. Who is God? Everything is God. I am God, you are God. So actually there is no God only, because everything is God. Okay, so everything they will make zero. Okay, so there are two types of atheists are there. One is the normal atheist which we see, and the second is the hidden atheist, who is the Mayavadis. Okay, so these are the two terms points are there. So that is the thing. Okay, so you see now many philosophers, great rishis or mystic try to distinguish the absolute from the relative by their tiny brain power. Absolute is the Krishna and the relative is everything which is in the material world. Okay, but there is difference. So they can only help them. This can only help them to reach the negative conception of absolute. Three concepts Prabhupada is describing. One is the positive concept, second is the negative concept, and third is the middle concept. Okay. So if you see, like negative concept, positive concept, and middle concept. So if you see that the Lord, he has like all the blissfulness, all the happiness, all the blissfulness, all the superiority, all the enjoyment is there in the Supreme Lord. So he is in positive form. Okay. And if you see the negative form, the totally opposite form, that is the material world. Okay, where happiness, little bit happiness, but more painful. It is more pain, more distress, more unhappiness is there in the material world. So that is in the like negative form. Okay, so that is in the negative form. So like karma kandis are there, so they will be coming on the negative forms. Okay, the negative form. The person who are doing the bhakti, they will be in the positive forms. Okay, but if you see the impersonalist, what they do is they hate the material forms because the material forms are impermanent. Okay, they hate the material world because uh, they think that material was impermanent. Okay, so what they do is they don't go to higher thing. What they do is they negate the material things. Okay, they negate the material things. If you see that the philosophy of the impersonalists, they negate the material philosophy. Means if something is positive, they will tell zero, it is zero. Okay, Lord has like us has a form, so they cannot imagine that Supreme Person can also have a form. So they will think by their material speculation, if Lord has form, then if form is there, then he must have certain like diseases will also be there. If he has hand, so he may have certain pain also in the hand. If hand is there, if there is hair, then hair can fall also, because we are also having the body, and this type of body, if Supreme Person is also having, then he may have hair fall also if he has hair. If he has ear, maybe certain ear defects can also happen. He may have certain earwax. Okay, so like that. So they compare our form with the Supreme form, and they come to the conclusion that Supreme Person cannot have a form, and the Supreme Truth will be absolute zero. Absolute zero. Okay, so they cannot, so absolute negation, they will do negation. So if you say that this thing is there, they will come to zero. No. Okay, voidism, totally void, focus on the void. Okay, if our mind is going towards negative thing through karma, okay, no, stop that mind and focus on nothing, zero. Okay, so that is the thing. If material enjoyment is there, Material enjoyment is painful. Material enjoyment is non-permanent. So stop that material enjoyment. Become zero. Do not engage your senses. Become zero. So that is the impersonalist philosophy. Everything which is there materially, make it zero. Okay. Don't engage your senses. Don't engage your mind in anything except nothing. Does this make sense? That don't engage your mind in anything. Don't engage your senses in anything except nothing. A little bit confusing, but this is their philosophy, what to do. Okay. Don't do anything, but engage your senses in nothing. Okay. So nothing is everything, but everything is nothing. Thing, which thing, what thing, we don't know. So like that philosophy, there are many questions they will have, but they'll try to do different mental speculation, try to answer differently, but finally they will come to know that Lord is absolute. There's no absolute truth of. There's no absolute form of the Lord, like that they will think, because they have went through painful process through their body. They have seen that painful things happen to the body, so they cannot imagine that if Lord is also there, then he must also do like this. Okay. So whatever things is there in the body, Lord's form is different. Our form is different. Okay. So that they cannot understand. Okay. So that is the difference between them and this. Okay. So that is the thing. Don't enjoy your senses. Make it zero. But if you see the Bhakti Yoga, okay. So here it is Karma Yogi, here it is the impersonalist, and here the Buddhi Yogi. Okay. So Karma Yogi will say engage your senses, engage your mind in the material things. Okay. So we'll do the material things. But the just 1 minute, battery I have to charge. Okay, so what we are discussing? So we are discussing that Karmavadi will engage in the material things. Mayavadi say no, make it zero. Everything is nothing. Okay, nothing is everything, and everything is nothing. Okay, so that is the impersonal philosophy. Okay, but we see Maya is the Bhakti Yogi. Bhakti Yogi, which actually bring the negative to positive. Okay, senses is there. Don't engage your senses in material thing, but don't make it zero. What you do is engage your senses in Krishna. They will attach everything to Krishna. So that is the difference. So mind, oh, your mind is engaged in the karma things. In the impersonalists, they want to engage the mind in the voidism something. But Krishna or the bhakti, the people who are following bhakti, they will engage the mind in Krishna. Okay. So that is called Yukta Vairagya. Using everything, but using for Krishna's service. So that is called Yukta Vairagi. Okay. They are also Vairagi, but different types of Vairagi. Which type of Vairagi? Using everything, but using it for the service of Krishna. So that is the thing. So if you see this without realizing, so they can only help them to reach, this can only help them to reach the negative conception of absolute without realizing any positive trace of the absolute. Definition of absolute by negation is not complete. Incomplete. If you see the three phases of realization of absolute truth, okay, one is the Brahman, second is Paramatma, third is Bhagavan. So Brahman form is incomplete. Okay, so definition of absolute by negation, because they are doing in the negation, nothing. Okay, such negative definition can lead one to concept of one's own. They can, with our mental speculum, we can see that if Lord has in form, the form will be like us only. Okay, then he will have problems also. Okay, so like that. So if you see the eyes, okay, so we suffer from many diseases with the eyes. Some days cataract will happen after some time. So we cannot imagine that Lord will also have a cataract. So they will try to negate the material conception. Okay, such negative qualities. So thus one imagine that absolute must be formless and without the qualities, because the form has problem, the qualities will have problems. So they think like that. So such negative qualities are simply the reversal of relatives, the material qualities, and are therefore also relatives. Okay. By conceiving the absolute in this way, one can reach at most up to the impersonal effulgence of Lord known as Brahman, but they cannot make further progress to Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. So that is the thing. I hope you have understood this concept. So let's see this one. Who will read? Mamta Mataji is there.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah. Such mental speculators do not know the absolute personality of Godhead is Krishna, that the impersonal Brahman is the gliding effulgence of his transcendental body, or that the Paramatma, the super soul, is his all-pervading plenary representations. Nor do they know that the Krishna has his internal form with its transcendental qualities or internal bliss and knowledge. The dependent demigods and the great sages imperfectly consider him to be a powerful demigod, and they consider the Brahman effulgence to be the absolute truth. But the devotee of Krishna, by dint of their surrendering unto him and their unalloyed devotion, can know that he is the absolute person and that everything emanates from him. Such devotee continues to render loving service unto Krishna, the fountainhead of everything. Hare Krishna.
You can read the next paragraph because that described the thing we discussed only. Yes, Mataji, this one.
Okay. In the Bhagavad Gita 720 and 723, it is said that only unintelligent, bewildered person driven by a strong desire for sense gratification worship the demigods for the temporary relief of temporary problems. Such the living being is materially entangled. He has to be relieved from the material bondage entirely to attain permanent relief on the spiritual plane, where the internal bliss, life, and knowledge exist. Shri Isopanisad therefore instructs that we should not seek temporary relief of our difficulty by worshipping the dependent demigods who can bestow only temporary benefits. Rather, we must worship the absolute personality of Godhead Krishna, who is all attractive and who can bestow upon us complete freedom from material bondage by taking us back home, back to Godhead.
Okay.
Right.
So if you see here, it is being said that demigods offer the temporary relief to temporary. Same concept is being described about the demigod. The demigods are also temporary only. They are also having material form only, and they cannot give you permanent thing. Okay, because they himself are impermanent. Okay, so that's why the Sri Isopanisad instruct one to seek the temporary relief, not to seek the temporary relief for our difficulties by worshipping the dependent demigods who can bestow only temporary benefit. So we should worship the Krishna. Okay, so that is one question it is being discussed, that why Krishna is the supreme. Okay, so that was the question which when we comes to Krishna consciousness, many Shastra describes this. And detail it is being described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. If you see it is detail, it is everywhere. Whoever is saying, they are saying the supreme person. Arjuna many times said in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, Krishna he has said. Okay, so these things become clear when we understand Bhagavad Gita. When we read Bhagavad Gita, we will understand. So that is one thing. Okay, the second was the impersonalist. Okay, so that will be also discussed. So let's read this one. This describes also about the demigods only. Okay, then we'll discuss about something about the theist and atheist thing. Okay, yes.
Kalpana Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita that the worshippers of the demigods can go to the planets of the demigods, the moon worshippers can go to the moon, the sun worshippers to the sun, etc. Modern scientists are now venturing to the moon with the help of rockets, but this is not really a new attempt. With their advanced consciousness, human beings are naturally inclined to travel in outer space and to reach other planets, either by spaceships, mystic powers, or demigod worship. In the Vedic scriptures, it is said that one can reach other planets by any one of these three ways. But the most common way is by worshipping the demigod presiding over a particular planet. In this way, one can reach the moon planet, the sun planet, and even Brahmaloka, the topmost planet in this universe. However, all planets in the material universe are temporary residents. The only permanent planets are the Vaikuntha Lokas. These are found in the spiritual sky, where the personality of Godhead himself predominates. As Lord Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita 8.16, Abrahma Bhuvanal Lokan Punaravritinorjuna Mam Upetya tu Kaunteya Punarjanmana Vidyate. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay. Hare Krishna Mataji. So this sloka describes that we have tendency to go to the higher loka. Okay. And some people, they through different meaning. Okay. We are making different spaceship. We are trying to go there, but we fail. Okay. So the most easily we can do is, or most easily, the most easiest process is to worship the demigods who is there in that planet. Okay. Like moon god is there. So if you worship the moon god, we can reach the moon planet. Okay. So like that. So most easy method is that. Okay. So this is not that much difficult. It is very easy by Vedic system. So whatever is there, but the thing is, wherever you want to go, all the planetary systems are in the material world only. Okay. You want to go to the Mars, you can go to Mars, but that is also material. If you want to go to Brahmaloka, even Brahmaloka is also material. So wherever you want to go, that is material world only, material nature only. Spiritual sky is Vaikuntha. Okay. Vaikuntha is way far and way bigger than the material world, where our conception is limited to the material world only. Okay. So that is the thing. So the demigods, they worship in different, they resides in different planet, and wherever you want to go, you can worship the demigods. And if he bestow his the benefit upon you, then you can go to that planet. Okay. So that is being discussed here. And if this sloka, if you see Brahma Bhuvana Loka, okay, from the highest planet to the lowest planet, Punaravartino Arjuna, you have to come back again to this material world. Mam upetya tu kanteya, once you go there, upetya tu kanteya, mam upetya, once you attain me, mam upetya tu kanteya, punarjanmana vidyate, he won't have punarjanma. Okay, he won't be having punarjanma, he will be relieved from birth and death cycle. So one who takes shelter of Krishna is actually getting mukti, or getting the mukti from the birth and death cycle, who is going to Krishna Loka. Okay, so that is the thing. Yeah, this one.
Seema Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Sri Isopanisad points out that one who worships the demigods and attains to their material planet still remains in the darkest region of the universe. The whole universe is covered by the gigantic material elements. It is just like a coconut covered by a shell and a half filled with water. Since its covering is airtight, darkness within is dense, and therefore the sun and the moon are required for illumination. Outside the universe is the vast and unlimited Brahmajyoti expansion, which is filled with Vaikuntha Lokas. The biggest and the highest planet in the Brahmajyoti is Krishna Loka, or Goloka Vrindavana, where the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna himself, resides. Lord Sri Krishna never leaves Krishna Loka, although he dwells there with his eternal associates. He is omnipresent throughout the complete material and spiritual cosmic manifestation. This fact has already been explained in Mantra 4. The Lord is present everywhere, just like the sun, yet he is situated in one place, just as the sun is situated in its own undeviating orbit. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So if you see the Goloka chart, in the Goloka chart is described that spiritual loka is there, and spiritual loka has many planets, many multiple planets are there. And if you see the 1/4 of that is 1/4 is the material world. 3/4 is the spiritual world, 1/4 is the material world. And that material world is like world of darkness. Okay, so darkness, it is called material world of darkness. It is like, so we need sun and moon here. But if we see in the Bhagavad Gita only, it is described that in Krishna Loka, there is no need of sun and moon because everything is self-illuminating. So that thing is being described again here, that everything in the spiritual world is self-illuminating and the material world is dark. We need sun, moon, okay, for the illumination. Okay, so that is the thing. And in the spiritual Loka, many plants are there where Vishnu resides with the 4 forms of hand. There is one place where he resides in his original form, the 2-handed form, in the form of Krishna, which is actually his home. Okay, so like that, if we imagine like a governor is there, okay, he has, or the chief minister is there, he has full state under his hand. Okay, so he will have all the state is under him, but he will have a place where he reside with his home. Okay, so like that, his home will be there. So like that, Krishna is having one home, that is the supreme, that is the Vaikuntha, that is the Goloka Dham. Okay, and others are his place of Vaikuntha Loka. Okay, so like that, so full city is there, and one place will be there which is meant for punishment or prison house. So that place is made as our material world. So our material world is nothing but like a prison house, and Krishna's home is like chief minister home. Okay, and the whole city is there where Vaikuntha Loka is there. Okay, so that is the thing. So it is being described here. Yeah, Mataji, next one.
I'll only read Prabhuji here.
Yeah, Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. The problems of life cannot be solved simply by going to the moon planet or to some other planet above or below it. Therefore, Sri Isopanishad advises us not to bother with any destination within this dark material universe, but to try to get out of it and reach the effulgent kingdom of God. There are many pseudo worshippers who become religionists only for the sake of name and fame. Such pseudo religionists who do not wish to get out of this universe and reach the spiritual sky. They only want to maintain the status quo in the material world under the garb of worshipping the Lord. The atheists and impersonalists lead such foolish pseudo-religionists into the darkest regions by preaching the cult of atheism. The atheist directly denies the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the impersonalists support the atheists by stressing the impersonal aspect of the Supreme Lord. Thus far, we have not come across any mantra in Sri Isopanishad in which the Supreme Personality of Godhead is denied. It is said that he can run faster than anyone. Those who are running after other planets are certainly persons, and if the Lord can run faster than all of them, how can he be impersonal? The impersonal conception of the Supreme Lord is another form of ignorance arising from an imperfect conception of the absolute truth. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So here one important concept is there, Mataji, which is saying that atheists are there. There are of 2 types. One is the who directly says that there is no Lord. Okay, and second is the person who are religionist, who will be religionist, who will be very religious. Okay, he will have all the tilak, he will have everything. He will be reading the Shastra, he will reading the Vedas, but he will something different only he will understand. Okay, so what they will understand is that Krishna doesn't have any like any form, and every form is like in the Maya. Okay, so that is the thing. So they are also preaching the cult of atheism only. See here, they are also preaching the cult of atheism only. Impersonalist, they are also like preaching the impersonal philosophy only. Why? Because they're stressing more on the impersonal feature of the Lord, and personal feature they are not going to. Okay, so that's why. So they are full existence of Krishna they are not looking into. Okay, they are saying that Krishna has impersonal form because they are thinking that personal form will have problems. So how can we think that Krishna is a personal form? Okay, so like that. So different philosophy they will make. Okay, so that is the thing that is called impersonalist. They are also like atheist only. So atheist and the impersonalist both are like atheist only. One is like irreligious atheist, and second is the religious atheist. They will tell that okay, I'm religious, and second is irreligious. They are not religious. So both are a type of atheism only. Okay, so Prabhupada here writes that the atheist and the impersonalist leads us fully pseudo-religionist. Pseudo-religionist. Sometimes we want to become religionist. Okay, that we are religionist, but we are pseudo-religionist. Okay, and what they do to us, they such pseudo-religious into the darkest region of preaching by cult of atheism. Okay, atheism. The atheists directly deny the existence of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the impersonalists support the atheist by stressing the impersonal aspect of the Supreme Lord. Okay, so that is the thing. So they are also the impersonalists are also like atheist type. Okay, so that is the thing. So Bhagavad Gita denies that there is the Supreme Person is like impersonal only. Okay, Isopanisad denies that Supreme Person is only impersonal. Srimad Bhagavatam denies that Supreme Person is only impersonal. Okay, so always it is accepted that Krishna is having a personal form. Okay, so that is the thing. So that is one thing. Okay, so let's see who is. So now if we come to the shloka says that a person who is worshipping the supreme form is worse than a person who is worshipping the demigods. How is these things happening? Okay. So for that we need to understand how the things came into being. Okay, like that if Vedas were there, what happened in the Kali Yuga that Veda becomes zero or nothing? That every person started unfollowing the Vedas. So earlier days, Vedas were everything. Everyone were knowing Vedas and they were following the Veda. But what happened when Kali Yuga came? People start becoming like Kali Yuga effect started to come. Okay, and people, what they started to do is they start killing the animals as a sacrifice in the name of religion. Okay, they will kill the animal, they will eat the animal, and they will say, no, I have given bali or sacrifice to the Lord, that's why I'm eating. Okay, so rampant killing of the animal started, rampant killing process started because of meat eating process in the name of religion. Okay, so that thing started happening when the Kali Yuga started. Okay, so that happened. Then Krishna came in the form of Lord Buddha. Okay, so Buddha. So he cannot come directly as a supreme person and say that okay, you are wrong. Okay, the Veda which you are following is wrong. Okay, so that thing will be completely different. Okay, so he cannot come and tell directly like this. So what he did, he approached a middle path. Middle path means first you have to negate the Vedas. That Vedas are nothing. You don't have to follow the Veda. Then only he can gradually bring them to Veda. Okay. So first thing is the wrong conception which has happened already. We have to negate that. Okay. If anything is written in the blackboard, first we have to rub that, then only we can write. Okay, if it is blank, it's okay, we can write. But if anything has already been written, we have to rub that first, then we have to write. Okay, so Veda's conception was there, but it was totally become like materialist thing. Okay, the Vedas, the misinterpretation of Vedas happen, and whatever things religion or the important things were there that the people change for their material gains. Okay, so the teachings of Veda is completely gone, not following the Veda. That is the type of atheist. So that type of problem has happened. So Krishna came in the form of Lord Buddha. Okay, so Lord Buddha cannot like tell that no, worship the supreme form that because it is written in Veda. No, he cannot do that now because people are misinterpreting the Veda. So what he did is he told that there is no Veda. Vedas is nothing, just bogus. Okay, so what you have to do is focus on or the become not focus, become a good person. That is one thing, the first thing. Okay, don't do killing of the animals. Okay, don't kill the animals. Ahimsa. Okay, so Buddha's teaching is main is the ahimsa. Okay, don't kill animal, don't eat. That is the following of Buddha. So the people who are Buddhist, what they will do is, if they are following actually the Buddhism, otherwise many pseudo Buddhists will be also there who will have something on, okay, like that. So what is their teaching? The teaching is ahimsa paramo dharma. We have to follow the ahimsa. Okay, there is no Veda, nothing. Okay, so Krishna came in the form of Lord Buddha and taught that first you have to become a human like, okay, human. Okay, don't follow the Vedas because Vedas are nothing, like that he taught. Okay, so Krishna given this philosophy that is called Buddhist philosophy. Buddhist philosophy, no Veda is there, no God is there, become a good human being. That was the need at that time. Okay, so that philosophy came. Okay, then after that came the impersonalist. Okay, so now everything is everyone like if you see it was rampant, everyone started believing. So Buddha is, who is Buddha? Buddha is Lord only. So he has big eyes with big smile. He will say, Ahimsa Paramo Dharma. Don't kill. Okay. So even great people they start following. Okay. So many great personalities they started following the Buddha, and it was rampant everywhere. Okay. So now from the rampant now comes the next part that is called impersonalist. So now the every person started like hating the Vedas. Okay, they don't accept the Vedas. Okay, so the next form comes, or if you see, if Vaishnava philosophy comes here, no people will be able to accept that, because now only Krishna has came in the form of Veda, the Buddha, and told that there is no Veda, no God. Don't accept Veda, don't accept God, like that. Okay, so middle things will be needed, middle thing or middle philosophy will be needed, and that is called the impersonal philosophy. Okay, so impersonalist philosophy, Shankaracharya came himself, means the avatar of Shankar. So Shankaracharya is nothing but avatar of Shankar. Okay, so his initial teachings are different, and the later teachings will be different. The initial preachings will be like impersonalist. Okay, and the later preachings which he did, he was like personalist, or the Vaishnava philosophy, where he says that that Krishna has a form, and who reads the Bhagavad Gita, who takes the shelter of Supreme Lord is the best. Okay, so like that. So it is later teachings will be like Vaishnava, but initial teachings were like impersonalist. Okay, where he says that accept the Vedas and accept the God, but he says the God doesn't have any form. Okay, so that was the middle philosophy, the impersonal philosophy, that accept the Veda, accept the God, but God doesn't have any form. Okay, so that was the middle philosophy. Okay, so that also rampant. Okay, after that, if you see the Lord Buddha's philosophy, after that impersonalist came, that also rampant. Okay, he went to different places. He did a great preaching of impersonalist. Okay, so many where if you see there still the Buddhists are also there, the impersonalists are also there. So they are the follower of Shankaracharya, but the Shankaracharya which they follow, they are like early teachings. The late teachings are like the supreme person is the personal supreme personality of Godhead is having a form. Okay, so those were the final teachings of the Shankaracharya. But still the impersonalists they will be stick to the form that Lord doesn't have any form. Okay, so that was the second part of the middle part. The third part came is the Vaishnava philosophy. Okay, which started with the Ramanujacharya. Okay, so Ramanujacharya is a great acharya who started the Vaishnava philosophy. Okay, that and he started the philosophy of that Abheda. Abhed means all are same. Same means what? Means the God and the Jiva are same. How it is same? Same in the quality. Okay, we are part and parcel of Krishna. Then our quality and Krishna's qualities are same. Okay, so the God and the Jivas are same. That is the teachings of Ramanujacharya. That is Abhed Tattva. Okay. After Ramanujacharya comes the Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya gives the Bhed Tattva. He says that Jiva, Jagdish and Jagat is different in the quantity. Okay, so the thing was quantity and quality, which was not discussed at that time. So the Madhvacharya gave the concept that Jiva, Jagat and Jagdish all are different. Okay, they are not same. There is difference between them. So the difference he told, and Ramanujacharya told that all are same only. Okay, there is same. The Jivas and part and parcel of Krishna, the same. Okay, so Ramanujacharya came. The Vaishnava philosophy came with that. Okay, after that, the Madhvacharya only also came. Okay, and this philosophy he has given. But if you see the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes under Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So Madhva and Gaudiya Sampradaya. This is the line of the Acharya and the line of succession in ISKCON. Okay, so Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So Madhvacharya is the preeminent Acharya, or the Acharya, not preeminent. Acharya is there. Okay, and actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyasa from a sannyasi who is in the Madhvacharya Sampradaya. That's why these lines come from there only, and we are attached to the Madhvacharya philosophy. Okay, so Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. What his teachings were, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings were there is Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. Achintya Abheda Tattva means the Lord is same as well as different. Same in quality and different in quantity. Okay, so that is the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually combined all the four, if you see the four sampradaya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took all the good qualities from the sampradaya and he mixed all the qualities in one sampradaya. Okay, and that what we are following now, that is called Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Okay, so that is the things which we follow. Okay, so with this we have understood the different concept from where the impersonalist Buddhist and Vaishnava came. So these things were there, and the impersonalists are also like many times you will see only the impersonalists. So Prabhupada means the impersonalist as the Mayavadi only. Okay, so he says Mayavadi. Sometimes we will say Mayavadi, sometimes we will say impersonalist. Okay, so that was the difference which I clarified. Okay, so the impersonalists and Mayavadi, they are also like Brahmavadi and Mayavadis are different, but sometimes Prabhupada says impersonalists and Mayavadi like infrequently. Okay. Okay, so from here we can read.
Jyoti Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. The ignorant pseudo religionists and the manufacturers of so-called incarnation who directly violate the Vedic injunctions are liable to enter into the darkest region of the universe because they mislead those who follow them. These impersonalists generally pose themselves as incarnation of God to foolish persons who have no knowledge of Vedic wisdom. If such foolish men have any knowledge at all, it is more dangerous in their hands than ignorance itself. Such impersonalists do not even worship the demigods according to the scriptural recommendations. In the scriptures, there are recommendations for worshipping demigods under certain circumstances. But at the same time, these scriptures state that there is normally no need for this. In the Bhagavad Gita 7.23, it is clearly stated that the results derived from worshipping the demigods are not permanent, since the entire material universe is impermanent. Whatever is achieved within the darkest of material existence is also impermanent. The question is how to obtain real and permanent life. Hare Krishna.
So we came to now to the mantra itself. Mantra says that the person who worship the demigods are better than the person who worship the impersonalist. Those are like impersonalists. Why it is said? It is said because we have understood that the impersonalist means Prabhupada says the Mayavadi directly. Okay, so Mayavadi is like atheist. Okay, they do not believe in Krishna. Okay, they do not believe in Krishna, so they are impersonalists only. So or the atheist only. Okay, so atheists are better, or the person who is worshipping the demigod is better. So the answer is the person who is worshipping the demigod is better than the atheist, because the atheist is misleading. This atheist, with the so-called atheist, the Mayavadi, which we are saying, they're misleading the community. Okay, and they're taking them to the atheism only. Okay, that everything is Lord, do whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do, focus, everything is God, focus on yourself, like that. Okay, but the thing is, if there is no, but see what happens now, everyone wants to enjoy, whether we are in the material form or in the spiritual form. But in the material form, we want to enjoy materially. That's why we are unhappy. Okay, but this Brahmavadi or the impersonalists, what they try to do is they try to negate that happiness. There is no happiness. The happiness is impermanent. So there should be no happiness. So control your happiness and become like silent. Okay, so like that. But without silent or without happiness, we cannot live. Okay, jivas, they want variegatedness. They want the difference. If difference is there, they will enjoy. They want enjoyment. Without enjoyment, they cannot stay. Okay, so that's why this type of things doesn't make any sense, and people, they ultimately fall down from their position because they cannot remain zero. They need something positive. Okay, they were negative in the material world, and when they started following the impersonalists, they came to zero. But when they are at zero, they cannot maintain themselves at zero because there is no happiness. Everything is like neutral. What they can do? They want some enjoyment. They want some engagement. Okay, so what they will say? Okay, there is no happiness. There is no enjoyment there. Let's go to material world again and enjoy. Okay, so like that. So you'll see many. You will see many, like Babajis will be there, or the many types of guru will be there who ultimately fall down. They have many relation with the woman, because why these things are happening? Because they are not realizing the fact, and they are thinking that everything is zero. I have to make ourselves zero. Okay, no enjoyment, no enjoyment, no enjoyment. There is no question of spiritual enjoyment for them. Okay, so that is zero. So everything they want to make zero. But with zero, they cannot maintain themselves. Ultimately, they will fall back to negative. But in Krishna consciousness, if you see, everything is attached to Krishna. So from zero, it is the Krishna consciousness is like making it to plus. Okay, so when plus is there or some engagement is there, and you enjoy, when you engage yourself in Krishna service, you enjoy the enjoyment, you enjoy the variegatedness, and you taste the spiritual happiness also in the material world only. That's why the it is very difficult for a person who is actually realized devotee to fall down. Once they have realized, they will always be realized. Okay? So it is very difficult for them to fall down. Fall down can happen to a Mayavadi, fall down can happen to a Brahmavadi, fall down can happen to a yogi, a person who is a yogic, who is in yogic process. They can also fall down. But a person who has realized the truth, the person who has engaged themselves in the service of Supreme Lord, difficult for them to leave Supreme Lord. Okay, so that is the thing which is being discussed in this sloka, this paragraph. Okay, so that's why it is said that worshipping the impersonal is worse than worshipping the demigods, because the demigod worshipper is still under the Vedic principle. Because if you are worshipping the demigod, you are worshipping according to the Vedas, and you are under the Vedic injunctions only. You are under the Vedic injunction. But when we become atheist, when we become a Mayavadi, we are outside the Vedic injunction, outside the Vedic religion. Okay, so that's why. So when a person is inside the Vedic religion, they can come to Krishna gradually. Okay, a person who is a religionist, a person who is following something in this material world, it is easy for us to preach them, and so that they can ultimately realize the ultimate goal and they can come back. But a person who is atheist, a person who is Mayavadi, it is difficult for us to preach because they will have different conception. Okay, So that is the thing. So a person who is already in a demigod worshipper, they can easily come. Just we have to clarify them that Krishna and demigod, what is their relationship. Okay, once they understand through the Shastric point of view, they can come back to they can come to Krishna, and they can enjoy more variegatedness of spiritual happiness here, and they can enjoy more in the spiritual atmosphere, okay, in the bhakti yoga. So that is more so that's why it is said that the person who are following the demigods are better than a person who is the Mayavadis. Okay, so that's why the sloka says that. Yes, so this one who will read?
Supraja Mataji, do you want to read? Kalpana Mataji?
It is very late, everyone slept.
May I read, Prabhu?
Yeah, Mataji, Jyoti Mataji.
Okay. The Lord states that as soon as one reaches Him by devotional service, which is the one and only way to approach the personality of Godhead, one attains complete freedom from the bondage of birth and death. In other words, the path of salvation from the material clutches fully depends on the principles of knowledge and detachment gained from serving the Lord. The pseudo-religionists have neither knowledge nor detachment from material affairs. For most of them want to live in the golden shackles of material bondage under the shadow of philanthropic activities disguised of religious principles. By a false display of religious sentiments, they present a show of devotional service while indulging in all sorts of immoral activities. In this way, they pass as spiritual masters and devotees of God. Such violators of religious principles have no respect for the authoritative acharyas, the holy teachers in the strict disciplic succession. They ignore the Vedic injunction, acharyopasana, one must worship the acharya. And Krishna's statement in Bhagavad Gita 4.2, Evam Parampara Praptam. The supreme science of God is received through the disciplic succession. Instead of to mislead the people in general, they themselves become so-called acharyas, but they do not even follow the principles of the acharyas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So you see, Prabhupada is writing strongly about the Mayavadis. Okay, in this way, they pass as a spiritual master and devotee of God. Okay, such violators of religious principle have no respect for authoritative acharya and the holy teachers of the strict disciplic succession. They do not follow the succession. They do not respect the teachers in the succession. They do not respect the acharyas who are there in the parampara. They do not follow the one must worship the acharya. They think that I am only God. Why to worship other God? Yes, like that. So acharya is God. Why to worship that? So they will think like that. And Krishna's statement, they don't believe that evam parampara praptam. Through parampara, this parampara. Okay, evam parampara praptam. Through parampara, I can be attained. Okay. This supreme science of God is received through disciplic succession. Instead, they mislead the people in general. They themselves become so-called acharya, but they do not follow the principle of acharya. So, principle of acharya, the whatever principle is written in Bhagavad Gita, the acharya follow the same and try to teach those things to his disciples through his acharan or through his behavior. Okay, so they do not follow behavior just by talking, by mouth, they cannot teach. Okay, so like that. Yes. The last one.
Mamta Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. These ruchis are the most dangerous element in the human society because there is no religion government. They escape punishment by the law of the state. They cannot, however, escape the law of Supreme, who has clearly declared in Bhagavad Gita that animus demon in the grab of religion, propagandalist shall be thrown into the darkest region of hell. Bhagavad Gita 16.19 to 16.20. Shri Isopanisad confirmed that these pseudo-religionists are heading towards the most obnoxious place in the universe after the completion of their spiritual master business, when they conduct simply for which they conduct simply for sense gratification. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So if you see the atheist and all, if I see many people, or the many people who are reading the science and all, so somehow they become like, their thinking becomes like atheist. Okay, they will be like, earlier they used to believe God and everything, but gradually they start going to temple because they think that why to go to temple is a waste of time. There is no God. If God is there, everything is science. Okay, like that they're thinking. So sometimes the teachings has become like that. I don't know. Everything is the religious thing has become like negative. Okay, don't teach any religious things in the books, like that. And science is becoming like new god, like that. So that things are happening. So like that, these things are there. So and actually it is written in Bhagavad Gita, the person who is like the demoniac characteristic, the 16th chapter which is mentioned, it describes the demoniac and or the suras and asuras quality. So Krishna says the person who is of asuric quality, or the person who is like demons, they will be taking birth again into the family of a demon or among the demon. And when they take birth among the family of demon, again they become more and more demoniac through the association of the demon. And next time they will take birth among more demoniac family, and in this way they will be falling down and down, down and down to the more demoniac nature and to the more demonic species. Okay, so that is actually very dangerous, and we feel very lucky that we came under the parampara of ISKCON. We came into the under the parampara of this the Brahma Madhva Goddess Sampradaya. We came under the teachings of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We came under the teaching of Srila Prabhupada, and we came under the teaching of our Guru Maharaj through Namanidha Das Prabhu, through these classes. Okay, and we are very lucky that we are understanding this fact, and we are trying to modify that fact, and we are trying to make some meaning of this human form of life. Otherwise, this human form of life doesn't have any meaning. This is just like a kachra. Okay, this human form of life, if I'm utilizing like an ass, if this human form of life, if I'm utilizing for just for like a donkey, then what is of use of this human form of life? I'm wasting my human form of life. And when we come under the association of certain devotees who have realized this fact, that this human form of life is for realization of Supreme Lord, and they know the path of realization, that how we can realize the Supreme Lord, we should immediately grab the foot of that devotee. Okay, immediately grab and don't leave the feet of that devotee. We know that Maya is very strong. Okay, we know that Maya can make us leave the foot of the lotus foot of that devotee. But what we need to do is, we should have sincere desire to Krishna. Krishna, I don't want to leave your lotus feet. I want to reach you through to the devotee who is realized and who has understood the fact of this fact that you are the supreme person. Okay, so Krishna, give me whatever things happen to me, just give me one mercy, that I cannot leave your lotus foot. Whatever things may happen, I can be completely changed. This material body can be totally destroyed. Anything can happen. Okay, but give me one boon, Krishna. I sincerely want from you that I don't want to leave your lotus feet. Keep me under your lotus foot. Whether I'm a monkey or a donkey or I become a mosquito, keep me somewhere under you only, so that I can hear your name, or somehow I can be attached to your lotus feet. Like that, we need to sincerely pray, because this Maya is very strong. Okay, sometimes we are in very new to the Krishna consciousness. Sometimes we understand this fact and we engage ourselves in the devotion service. Sometimes the Maya will play with us. Okay, so like that. So daily, when we see Lord's picture, or when we pray to him, we should be always praying to this way, because sometimes we think ourselves as a great person. Okay, this Maya is very great, and it makes us to realize that we are a great person. We are this, we are that, we are a very learned person. Few persons are working under me, many persons are working under me. why I should do like this. Okay, I am very great person. I am like that. So that is a Maya. Okay, and gradually, if this Maya is taking us away from Krishna, that is very dangerous, because once we have understood that fact, and if we are leaving away Krishna, that is very unfortunate for us. Okay, and we don't know how many cycles of birth will take again to reach this stage, and we don't know whether Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be there in that time or not. Whether we don't know whether this movement will be there at that time or not. We don't know whether we will be under the association of certain guru or certain Vaishnava or not. We don't know. That's why you should not leave the opportunity which we have got in this life, and whatever things we are doing today. So whatever things we are doing for our devotion, we should do it sincerely, so that Krishna is very merciful on us, and we cannot leave this association. Okay, so whatever things happens to our life, sometimes good thing will happen, sometimes bad thing will happen, but we need to accept the thing is, whatever things is happening, it is the mercy of Krishna, whether it is good or bad. Okay, so with this we'll end today's session.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. One question, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Why Lord Venkateshwara is not included in Dashavatara, Prabhuji?
Lord Venkateshwara.
Lord Balaji.
Balaji is Vishnu ji only, Mataji. Balaji is nothing but Vishnu ji only, no?
But
The
he's not
different
included in
places will have different pastime. Like if you go to Srirangam, there will be Ranganath is there. Okay, so name is different, but he is Vishnu only. Okay,
So he's not an avatar.
so because everything is from his avatar only. Okay, so if you see the Dasha avatar, everything is the Vishnu avatar only. Yes, Mataji.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. May I ask one question, Prabhu?
Yes, Jyoti Mataji.
Prabhu, all incarnations are in line with Vedas and Vedic scriptures, and even Bhagavad Gita is given for Kali Yuga. But why in Kali Yuga, like Buddha is, his philosophy is totally contradictory for all these philosophies, Prabhu?
Because that time it was needed, Mataji. So that's why the people, they cannot accept suddenly that the Vedas are correct. Okay, Vedas are wrong. That has to be said. So that is uh, the arrangement by Lord. So that's why it is the arrangement by Lord. Okay, so we cannot accept once we know that Veda is correct. Okay, now we cannot accept that no, Veda is correct only. Okay, so he completely negated that fact. Then gradually the people are coming to the Vaishnava philosophy. If you see now, the many people are in the Vaishnava philosophy, and it is said that this 10,000 year will be the golden period for the Vaishnavism. Okay, so most of the people will start following again the Vaishnavism, Vaishnava philosophy. So gradually it will happen.
All incarnations are Vedas describes the deity worship is acceptable, but Buddha is says deity worship is not acceptable.
Okay, so that is for certain reason, Mataji. That's why he told. Okay, Mataji.
Okay,
Hare Krishna,
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Who is a question?
Uh,
Supraja Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Who reintroduced Vedas, Prabhuji? Lord Shankaracharya. Sorry.
yes, Shankaracharya.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Everybody?
Yes, Mataji. Mamta Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Yes, I'm saying Hare Krishna because class I have to go right now. That's it.
Yes, Mataji. Actually, we came to end of the class. It was already late. So Kirti Mata is there with us. Already it will be like 3 in the Australia. No, Mataji are from Australia.
Yes, Prabhuji, it's 2:30 a.m.
2:30. It is difficult for you to attend the class till you are attending classes, Mataji. Very nice to have like such devotees we have. So everyone can get inspiration from you, Mataji, to attend the classes, to do the sevas. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Okay. So so we'll end the chapter or in the session today. So we'll have 13th sloka in the next class. Next week we'll meet again for the 13th sloka. Okay. So Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubha vivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Thank you. Dandavat Pranam.
Dhanavad pranam, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.